guys, my name is Maeve and I am the creator and owner of Masterful Maeve. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the very first of hopefully many videos that I will create. What inspired me to start doing this was actually a lady who runs Kin's Clay. Her art, crystal dragon designs are absolutely amazing and adorable. And I noticed that she had started to post her creations, how she made them, as well as some vlog posts, and I think, you know, taking inspiration from her, I also want to do the same. Now, this first video is gonna go through a little bit how I personally make a bag. What I've come to realise is that when I go to markets and you know, we say it's handmade, it's this, it's that, I don't think people quite understand how or how much of our stuff is handmade. Like, for example, I have a bag that I have made, okay? This is a custom bag. So you can see it has the purple, it has the embroidery, and it has the handles. It also has the zip and a zip pocket, sorry. So this does open up, it does have a pocket inside, and we also have two non-zipped pockets here, okay? Now when I say it is handmade, I don't mean that I've bought a bag online and that I've embroidered this section and the rest is already pre-made. No. I mean, we have materials that we cut and we stitch together. So this was literally a bunch of material that I've cut out and stitched together. Yes, including the handles, yes, including the zippered pocket. So this first video is kind of like a little bit of a vlog of how I make my bags. So to start this video off, first I'm going to grab some materials and give you a little bit of a lowdown of where I am, because I did start to make the bag and then realised I wanted to make this video. As you do. So yeah, let's take this journey together. If there are any questions or if there's any steps that you want me to break down, so like for example how I put in the zipper for the bag, or how I do the pockets, or how I do the handles, feel free to comment down below and I will make those videos. That's absolutely fine. And I'll also credit the people that I learned from. Everything's a learning curve. Just ask, the information is out there. I will gladly do what the people want. Okay? So without further ado, let's go. So I have all of my material in here. That's the lining, I do need some of that. But we do start out with plain material, rolls, and we do cut it up. Need that. Okay. So get that. And I take it over to my cutting station. I then cut out. Okay, so like this is one panel and the coloured bottom that I like to add. And then the other panel is over there. It needs to be embroidered. I have to wait for that before I can embroider that. So let's cut out some handles.
Now for this design I'm going to cut out some white handles because this is an all white bag. Whilst I was doing that though, the embroidery machine had finished, so I'm going to show you how I set up the hoop.
This is the design that we're going for.
This one's lovely white cloth canvas. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the same colours. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's gonna go onto here. So let's see how this goes. So put that foot down and off it goes. Now, as you can see, it's going to take 71 minutes to complete this design. That's not including changing the thread, that's just from straight through. This is how long it's going to take. It tells us the stitch count, and it also tells us how many thread changes there are, so 1 of 9. 71 minutes. 71. Let's see what I can do in 71 minutes. So the embroidery machine's on number 7 of 9 thread change. Says that it's charcoal. Show you. So this is like going around here, the flowers and stuff. It says charcoal, but I don't really think that is charcoal. Or at least I don't think it would look right, because instead of these paler pink, I've done nice and bright pink. So I'm just thinking, do I do a light green or do I do like a deep green? Because this deep green, it's well, I think we'll go with that, because to me that makes more sense than charcoal. That's also the beautiful thing about embroidery, is that you can make it whatever colour you want. See how that looks? Because it also says bronze, and the bronze is going around the flowers. And then the chrome, there's meant to be a circle around, but it's not showing it. So instead of the bronze, I'm going to go with this, which is kind of a bronze. It's more of a deep peach colour, which I think will look better with the bright pink. So if I do that, see that they're a bit more harmonious together. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I've made a good decision there. Look.
So now we have to sew together the handles to make sure that they won't come apart. Whilst I was doing this, I did have a bit of fun with Salem, who is sitting directly behind the machine. So I timed this just right, because once when the handles were done, the panel was done. So here's a little moment for the panel. So it wasn't until I'm now in edit that I realised that I didn't record myself adding the panel onto the coloured bottom. But that's all I've done here, and here all I'm just doing is adding some handles. Now because each panel is different, I have to measure before I cut out the lining, which is what we're going to do next.
Right, listen. It's a new day. It's actually been a couple of days. Yeah, trying to find time to make a bag from start to finish. I can make a bag from start to finish in a full day. That's from waking up at like 8 and then finishing at like 10 before I go to bed. Now obviously for custom bags, and because I'm adding all the bells and whistles like pockets and a zip pocket, it does take me longer. So I try to split it up into a couple of days. Plus I have to fit it around my busy schedule. So I also realised that the video did not record me finishing off the lining, and it did not record me pinning the pockets on. So I'm just going to go through what I've done so far. So here we have the lining, and it is cut to match the length of our bag. Doesn't look like it, but it is. There you go. On here I've done some pockets. So here we're going to have the open hole here, and I'm going to stitch around these 3 sides. And then I've also pinned down my zip pocket. So this is what I showed you earlier. So now I'm going to pin it, and I am going to sew it in. It is inside out, so this is going to be the inside of the lining. What happens is I have to stitch around the opening first and then inverse it. So we'll sew on the pockets first, and then we'll do the zipper pocket. So let's do that.
Please excuse my voice. First off, we have to stitch around the outside of the box that we've done, and then we can cut open our marks. From there we will invert and press down our opening, place the zipper where we want it, and then pin and stitch it down into place. So here is the zip all stitched around. Now we need to fold over and zip the pocket shut. Now that's done, we can secure our 2 pieces into place. We're going to have our outside facing inwards, because what we're going to do after is turn it inside out. So here I'm just stitching the 2 ends close. And we need to cut off any excess. Now that is done, we need to sew the length of the bag. So the coloured sides are together, the lining is going to be sewed together, and at the very end I'm going to leave a hole so I can turn the bag inside out. So here we go, finding that edge, handles first, watch the magic happen. Now we have something that kind of resembles a bag. All that we need to do is poke out our corners and sew up that open end that we left. So putting the lining back into the bag, I'm going to stitch a small line around the edge of the bag. This just gives it off a nice finish and stops that lining from showing whilst the person is using the bag. Just doing some tidying up now, getting rid of any extra thread that's hanging off, and adding the finishing touches. I'll also iron it flat just to get rid of any creases and add the final touch to the zip pocket, which took me forever. I don't know why. And with that, our bag is now complete. This is the first of hopefully many videos that I will do. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I intend to record my market in Matlock, which is happening tomorrow. See you later.